India has achieved a remarkable milestone by overtaking global rivals to become the world's third largest mobile phone exporter, clocking exports worth $20.5 billion over the last 1 year. This development marks a dramatic turnaround for a country that depended heavily on mobile imports less than a decade ago. The transformation is underpinned by focused industrial policy, foreign investment from multinational tech giants, and an expanding local manufacturing ecosystem. Until recently, India's story in electronics was that of vast consumer base but very little manufacturing muscle. Back in 2015, India's mobile phone exports were modest $2 billion, which is a tiny fraction of global output. Much of the demands were met through imports. According to figures from the Center for Development Studies, imports stood at around $8 billion in 2014-15, primarily to meet surging domestic consumption. However, by 2017-2018, the seeds of transformation were sown, with the government and industry setting sights on building a robust, export-oriented mobile manufacturing sector. The most decisive factor in India's rise as an export giant was the Production-Linked Incentive or PLI scheme that was launched in 2020. The PLI scheme offers financial incentives tied directly to increase production and export, spurring companies to set up or expand local manufacturing. This coincided with a global push for supply chain diversification, especially as companies sought to limit over-reliance on China, and the momentum for the China Plus One strategy. The government's vision received further boost from streamlined trade facilitation, greater ease of doing business, and infrastructure improvements. As a result, global heavyweights including Apple, Foxconn, Pegatron, Wistron and Samsung rapidly scaled up their Indian operations. Apple in particular doubled its production and exports from India in just 2 fiscal years, reaching exports worth $10 billion in the financial year 2024. India's mobile phone exports have experienced an extraordinary surge. It skyrocketed from just $0.2 billion in 2017-18 to over $24 billion in 2024, an almost 12,000% increase in less than a decade, making it one of the most dramatic transformations in the global electronics landscape. In 2024 alone, export figures reached $20.5 billion, firmly establishing India as the world's third largest mobile phone exporter. This momentum also did not stop and continued into 2025. In March this year, India set a new monthly record of $3.1 billion worth of exports, propelled largely by Apple's shipments to North America and Europe. We can also see the rapid acceleration in early months of financial year 26, from April to May 2025, when exports topped $5.5 billion within just 2 months, signaling an even stronger upward trajectory for the sector. Now, when we compare India with other countries, India now trails only China and Vietnam in global mobile phone exports, while China continues to lead by a considerable margin, posting exports of $132.5 billion in FY24. Vietnam's share has waned, falling to $26.2 billion, a gap that India is rapidly closing. Recent projections suggest India may soon surpass Vietnam to become the world's second largest exporter, further cementing India's position at the heart of global digital service supply chain. The export boom in India's mobile phone industry has generated significant ripple effects across the broader economy, notably through substantial job creation and increased value addition. According to estimates from the Center for Development Studies, over 17 lakh or 1.7 million jobs have been created, with many workers transitioning from informal to the formal sector, enhancing job security and skill development. Alongside employment growth, domestic value addition has also risen markedly, with India now contributing above 23% value to its mobile phone exports, translating to about $10 billion in 2022-23. This progress reflects greater local sourcing and production of components, which not only bolsters the domestic supply ecosystem, but also plays a crucial role in sustaining long-term competitiveness and diminishing dependence on foreign imported parts. India's meteoric rise as a global mobile phone exporter has been driven by many interconnected factors. Government support has played a pivotal role, extending beyond the production-linked incentive or PLI schemes to encompass consistent policy making and substantive investments in trade facilitation, all of which have enhanced India's appeal as a destination for global supply chains. Foreign direct investment has also been crucial, with manufacturers of high-end devices such as iPhones and Samsung Galaxy phones establishing India as a key node in their worldwide production networks. Additionally, geopolitical shifts have accelerated this growth, as the ongoing realignment of global technology supply chains encourages companies to diversify their manufacturing locations beyond China, thereby opening new opportunities for India. Finally, the sector's strategic pivot towards export-oriented production, serving both domestic and global markets, has enabled India to maintain a trade surplus in mobile phones since 2018-19, solidifying its position in the industry. Experts at the CDS believe that India's journey mirrors that of other Asian economies, achieving scale first and then deepening value addition as and when expertise and local supply chains mature. Now, rising to the third largest exporter status has also greatly elevated India's standing among investors and policymakers. While China still leads by a wide margin and Vietnam remains a powerful competitor, India's structural reforms, domestic demand, and skilled labor force put it on a trajectory to become a true global electronics manufacturing hub. If the current momentum continues, India is ready to surpass Vietnam and secure the world's second spot, thereby firmly positioning itself within the core of the global digital device supply chain. This trajectory reflects not only significant economic milestone but also underscores India's emergence as a pivotal technological and industrial force on the international stage. But what do you believe? Is India quickly becoming a global tech manufacturing powerhouse? India is set to become the world's third largest economy by 2028, overtaking Japan and Germany, and it could drive 20% of global growth over the next decade. According to a Morgan Stanley report, the rise is powered by state-level reforms, rising capital expenditure, and booming consumption economy. Maharashtra, Gujarat, and Telangana are emerging as economic engines, while Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh are showing rapid gains. Will this momentum survive geopolitical and climate risks? As capital markets soar and infrastructure booms, India's economy story is rewriting the global growth narrative. India's economy is defying the global slowdown. While the OECD slashes global growth forecasts to just 2.9% for 2025-26, India is projected to grow at a strong 6.5% in FY26, according to EY's July 2025 Economic Watch report. So what's driving this resilience? Robust public investment, steady private consumption, and moderate inflation. Meanwhile, the BRICS Plus bloc is gaining global economic ground, accounting for 42.5% of global GDP and 54% of the world's population. With plans to boost trade in local currencies, is BRICS Plus reshaping the global financial order? Despite US tariff threats, India has become the face of the rise of the global South. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become the first world leader to visit the Maldives under President Muizu, marking a pivotal moment in India-Maldives relations. As part of a broader Indo-Pacific strategy, the visit aims to strengthen bilateral ties under the India-Maldives joint vision for economic and maritime security. New Delhi is resetting the balance of power in the Indian Ocean. India has ramped up its economic partnership with Maldives, delivering over $500 million in financial assistance through currency swaps, interest-free T-bonds, and strategic credit lines. India is pushing forward with its digital integration via UPI services and also sustained export support for essential goods. Now, this marks a complete and total U-turn from Muizu's earlier India out campaign to now rolling out the red carpet for New Delhi and Indian Prime Minister Modi. Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button, and subscribe to Inconnect News.